Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you guys are at, and good evening if you guys are in the UK or in Europe. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys some time to join in because this is an unplanned live. So I'm just going to give you guys a few seconds to come in. Please, as you come in, please hit that like button as you come in. Just hit that like button. Hello, I'm going to give you guys some time to come in. Just hit that like button as you guys come in. Hi, y'all. Hope you guys are doing well. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. I'm just giving you guys some time to come in. I know that this was a completely unplanned live. You guys didn't know I was going live. But yeah, hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Can somebody just let me know that you guys can hear me in the chat? Just put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. Just need to make sure you guys can hear me before I talk about what I need to talk about today. Guys, hit that like button as you guys come in. Hit that like button as you come in. Okay. Just put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. Okay. All right. Oh, fantastic. I see the ones coming in. Fantastic. Perfect. Okay. So thank you guys for joining today. I know I didn't give you guys any heads up, but I was very grieved and irritated when I saw the disturbing text messages in relation to Marquez. So thank you so much, everyone that's putting a one in the chat. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. How are you guys doing? Hello, everyone. Welcome. Um, so guys, I saw the disturbing messages. First of all, shout out to Diana Rose, 'cause that's where I initially found out all about this mess. So shout out to her for covering that. Now, the big thing I want to say is you don't have to like Trisha, but it's very disturbing to see that level of aggression in the text messages. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Hi, Melva. Melva, you have such a lovely name. Where are you from? Melva. That is a very nice name. Is that a nickname or is that your name? Just curious. Let me know. This is just me being nosy. But anyways, about this Trish saga. So my thing is, you guys don't have to like Trish. Nobody needs to like Trish. I know we all make jokes about her being locked jawed and how she doesn't like to speak up and stuff like that. But I was genuinely concerned about the level of venom in those messages. Now, I better put my banner up that says everything I say is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes, okay? Because I don't want nobody coming after me. We ain't playing games over here. But I was genuinely concerned. Have you guys heard about the whole text messages with Marquez and Trish? Between Marquez and Trish. Let me know in the chat if you guys have heard about it, so that it's not like I'm talking about something that you guys don't already know in these YouTube streets. Okay, Melva, my name's Missouri. Oh, that's a beautiful name nonetheless. That is a really nice name. You guys with such nice names. How beautiful. But have you guys heard about the whole Marquez and Trisha business? If you guys have heard about it, let me know in the chat. Because when I say those messages are so disturbing, I even hate to have to like try to repeat those messages. So I'm not going to do that in this video. But I already had a video where I did that and I flagged it. I really put trigger warning before I read those messages out. But I really think like I want us to discuss. So if you guys have seen the messages or if you guys know what I'm talking about, Marquez allegedly, let me put the alleged, Marquez allegedly sent some disturbing text messages to Trisha. As someone who doesn't really see it for Trish, I was disturbed that this message was sent to anybody because the message gave the impression that he's very unhinged. Now, first of all, of course, that's assuming that this is true and the message is actually legit. But the message was given this man is unhinged, and everyone needs to be aware of that. Because I'll be honest, when I watched the Queen Sheba interview, I was like, okay, he seems relatable, he seems calm. I did still say that he is still very emotional, and I felt like he's somebody that could benefit from therapy. But with those messages, I think he needs to be in a psych ward. I actually, and I'm not trying to be funny. I really believe that they need to either put him in a psych ward or actually get somebody to go and check, do some welfare check on this man because it cannot be okay for you to say those things to anybody. We may not like Trish, we may not see it for Trish, Trish may be a liar, all of those things may be true. But when I say those messages took it too far, those messages took it entirely too far. And so, as a woman, I can never stand for that. I can never stand for that. Even if I wasn't a woman, I would like to hope that other men that are listening today are probably thinking, what the heck was he thinking sending that kind of message to somebody? Now, aside the fact that it's such a disturbing thing to do, it's also very stupid. If you're going to be in some sort of custody battle or some sort of issue and you have children, that's not the kind of messages you should send to anybody. That goes without saying. But somebody that has your child, right, your underage child, that's not the kind of message you send to them because now your underage child will get to a point where she will hear about this. She will see the videos that we are doing about it, or her mother will show her the messages. So there is nothing that you can say after that that can really justify those messages. And as an individual, thinking back to those messages, I'm deeply concerned. I'm reading those messages and I'm like, this is crazy. He was saying things like, F her, she is lame, F her for life. And I'm just thinking, okay, F this, F that. But when you're allegedly saying things like DIE, slur, like your mom, dad, and sis, that is crazy. That is unhinged behavior. That is a dangerous thing to say and a dangerous thing to do. So, aside the fact that I think it's very disturbing, I am genuinely concerned, right? Because those messages gives the impression of someone who snapped, right? So I don't know what the timeline is. Maybe it was before the interview or whatever the case may be, or after the interview. I'm not sure on the timeline, to be honest. If you guys know, let me know in the chat. But for me, it's so concerning because I'm like, anyone that can say those kind of things needs to be evaluated. Their mental health needs to be checked because something ain't right. Something is not right. I cannot imagine, even the people that have done the worst things to me in this life, I cannot imagine ever getting to the point of sending those kind of messages to them. So I don't think anybody, and I'm glad I haven't seen anybody sort of make it seem like, oh, it's Trisha's fault or anything, because that is just disgusting behavior. We always talk about protect Black women, and we cannot just protect Black women when it's convenient for us or when we like the Black woman in question. We may not like Trish, we may not see it for Trish, but to be on the receiving end of that abuse is disgusting. It is disgusting. Nobody should be on the receiving end of such behavior. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I think it's completely, completely, completely unacceptable. Oh my goodness. So, guys, just perfect. This is crazy. This is so weird. So, guys, this is completely unrelated, but you know, when you have a property, like I have a service accommodation property, and I'm checking the ring camera, and it's meant to be two people checking in, and there is a group of one, two, three, four, five, six people trying to get into the property. And I'm just like, this is crazy. So once I get off this live, I need to send them a message that they're breaking the rules and try to get them out of the property or something. Or because I don't know what kind of craziness they have going on. But anyway, back to what I'm saying, right? I just think like it takes a level of like your mental health can't be great if you're sending that kind of message to somebody. And it's very abusive, irrespective of whether we like Trish, whether we see it for Trish, it's just abusive. And I'm genuinely concerned that like that's the behavior of someone that is dangerous. He said something in the text message that's first of all, everything is alleged. Assuming the text messages are true, okay? There's nothing for me from me confirming whether or not the text messages are true, but what I'm saying is if those messages are true, if anyone knows him, they need to check up on him, because imagine somebody saying that they have nothing to lose. If you got one thing you guys need to be aware of is when somebody says they have nothing to lose, that means they are ready to lose everything. I'll say that again. If somebody says they have nothing to lose, that means they're ready to lose everything. People like that are concerning. People like that are unhinged, because to them, they just feel like I'm ready. I don't really care what happens now. I'm going to do whatever it is I want to do. And that is really concerning, scary behavior, because those are the kind of people that go out to try to attack their exes, you know, KIL their exes and their family. These are some of the things that these people do. And for me, if you guys remember the interview with Queen Sheba, shout out to her, of her interviewing Marquez, she asked whether they do some sort of mental health evaluation for people that are looking to come on the show. And he said they didn't do any of that. So you guys are just out here employing people not knowing their mental health, not knowing whether they have any history of mental health problems, knowing fully well that the show can be a pressure cooker, knowing fully well that the show can bring a lot of stress. That is wild to me. It's just absolutely bananas. I just don't understand why nobody's out here keeping an eye on something like that. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. So when I say that from my perspective, I think that Carlos needs to be checking the people that he's bringing on the show. Aside the fact that we then found out that a lot of these people are alleged convicts or have all sorts of runnings with the law, it's like, what are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing? Are we just saying that anybody, irrespective of whether or not they're in a good space to work, sensible? Let me mute that. Sorry, my WhatsApp is going off. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. But I've switched it off now. My cousin is messaging me on WhatsApp and it's going off. But anyway, so it's like regardless of that, right? There has to be some checks. You can't just bring anybody willy-nilly and just be like, okay, come on my show, come on my show. What if they're not? What if they do something crazy? And I don't want to give examples, but we've seen Tiffany. Tiffany has talked about the impact of the show and everything on her mental health and stuff. Like, I don't want to bring Kiki into it, but the show has such an impact on people's mental health. So I don't think it's acceptable, especially with the kind of fans of Love and Marriage Huntsville. You have passionate fans, right? I think it's important to make sure the mental health of whoever is going on is great and also continuing, right? So every couple of, I don't know, every season or whatnot before they start filming, mental health check. Are you okay? Is everything all right? How are you dealing with the scrutiny? How are you dealing with the stress of being on the show? I feel like there isn't enough support for people on the show. This is just my opinion, right? Outside looking in, because it seems like this man is crashing out or has completely crashed out, right? So I just want to say, like, that for me was concerning. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. Also, for those of you who are coming in, we're just talking about Marquez and the disturbing messages that he allegedly sent to Trish. So that's what we're talking about. Hit that like button as you come in. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Because I know that a lot of people don't see it for Trish. And I get it. Trish is not likable. Trish can be seen to be a liar. Trish can't get her story straight. Absolutely. But to say these disgusting, vile things to somebody, regardless of who they are, it's just vile to me. And I think people need to speak up on that. I think that people need to really call it out and call it for what it is. It's disgusting. Maybe somebody needs to go over and do a welfare check to make sure that he's good. Something needs to be done. Absolutely needs to be done. Hi, Gwendolyn. Hello. It's so good. It's good. So good to see you on the chat. It's been a while. Hope you are good. Um, yeah, so we're just talking about Marquez and the disgusting messages he allegedly sent to Trish. Those messages are just vile. I'm not going to like read it to you guys here, but it was disgusting to me as somebody. Why am I getting so many notifications? Sorry, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I better mute. I had closed my WhatsApp and now I'm getting notifications for other things. Let me put my laptop on focus. It's like the one time that I go on live, I'm constantly getting messages. But when I'm just casually in my house, nobody disturbs me. But anyway, okay, so that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. I do think that somebody needs to put him, like, if it's something that happened recently, there needs to be some sort of like psych eval. I don't think he should be allowed to continue to be on the show without a psych eval if the messages are true and he genuinely sent those messages. Now, like I said, I do not know the timeline of the messages. But if anyone knows the timeline of the messages, let us know in the chat. Um, so either way, I think it's very dangerous. I think that it's something that we all need to be watching out for because, yeah, it's not acceptable. Hi, Natasha. Hello. Hope you're well. Hi, Natasha. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to say about the whole Trisha and what's his name again? And Marquez's situation. Sorry, I got a bit distracted. I'm trying to do 1,000,010 things at the same time. You guys know I don't have any mods because I don't really go on live like constantly. So yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness, Natasha. Absolutely. I was rooting for Marquez as well. I was rooting for Marquez as well. And I'm sure that posting the message or leaking the message at this time was probably strategic because everyone was seeing Marquez as the good guy. Probably this is just my intuition. But at the same time, right? I'm with you. I initially thought, okay, Marquez is extremely emotional, but I thought he could get it together in therapy, and that if he focuses on his mental health, he will get himself in a really good space. But for me, to put out those kind of messages, to message somebody knowing fully well they can screenshot it, like if Trish wants to do it, she can take that up to the police and get him arrested for DV harassing communications, and she will be well within her rights. I'm surprised she hasn't even done that yet, because that is very serious. Like, there's no way, me as a person, no matter how much I like you or how much I'm rooting for you, if anybody sends me those kind of messages, you're going to go to jail. You are going to jail. And I'm going to have no, I'm not even going to give any F's about that. Going straight to jail. As soon as those messages came, I would be calling the police straight away to be like, here is that. This is what happened, you know, and just doing that straight away. So it's really, really sad. I feel like Marquez is actually disappointed. I think Marquez is actually disappointed us all, if I'm being completely honest. It's a big shame, I will say. It's a really, really big shame, because I think he could have done so much with this platform. He was likable. People did not like Trish because she was a liar, or she is a liar. So automatically, people will like the next best thing, right? Which people saw as Marquez, because everyone saw Marquez as this, oh, misunderstood guy. But of course, he just decided to ruin it for everybody. He ruined it for himself. Now, all everybody is going to see is this unhinged behavior. All everybody is going to remember is how nuts this man is, how some screws are clearly loose in his head, right? Like, respectfully. Good guy, especially after he said that she put on the divorce papers, they don't have children together. Exactly. Natasha, I listened to that, and I even did my commentary on that, and I said that Trish basically could have been doing it because she was trying to get custody, or she was trying to like not make sure there's no custody issues, and she's trying to have the daughter full time and not allow Marquez to spend time with the daughter. I feel like everyone was rooting for him. Everyone was rooting for him to go out there and show us better, be relatable, be on Love and Marriage Huntsville and tell the truth compared to the rest of the cast members. I personally would have appreciated if he came out and said, if it was something where he had crashed out in the past, and talked a little bit about how we used to crash out, how we used to send some horrible messages, and how he's sorry for that, and how he was going through something. I would have appreciated a story about that at the interview, right? When he was talking about not crashing out, I would have appreciated some context about previous crash out moments. You don't have to give us all of the examples, but giving us enough to not be shocked if this kind of information comes out. Giving us enough to know, okay, your past is not sweet, squeaky clean on this issue. That would have sufficed. But instead, it was just like, oh, don't crash out, don't crash out. Like, give us more than that. And now all of this has been exposed. It is very, very sad, honestly. Aaron out, exactly. Silly man. Absolutely, absolutely silly. Um, yeah, absolutely silly. He really lost a huge opportunity, and I really do hope that he gets it together. I really, for his sake, I hope that he gets it together. And for me, I'm always going to root for women doing what is best for their protection. So if Trish feels like she needs to call the police and make a report about it, then absolutely do that. Do that, because nobody should be subjected to that abuse ever, regardless of if it's Trish, regardless of who it is. Nobody should ever be subjected to such disgusting behavior. That's just my opinion on that. Um, okay. So let's see. Let me just see the chat if there's anything that I have not yet read. Okay. So, all right. What did you guys think of the reunion part 3? Because I'm just like we've talked about it a little bit in like some of the previous videos, but I was just curious if you guys wanted to talk about it now since I'm on here on live. If you guys want to talk about the reunion. So for me, I felt like the reunion part 3 could have remained in drafts. Like they did not need to post it. They did not need to upload it. That said, I feel like Melody did make it really interesting, and I'll talk about a little bit because I didn't really like plan to talk about it that much. Um, but I really think that what is with all these messages? Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I just got another message on Instagram, and my thing is meant to be on do not disturb, so I don't really know what is going on. Like it's almost like the do not disturb is not stopping like actual messages from coming into my computer. Do you guys like does that happen to you guys if you put your like Mac on do not disturb? So my Mac is on do not disturb and I'm still getting random messages. Anyway, I'll fix it like later. It's probably my settings. But anyway, Gwendolyn says, yes, he has some serious issues. Absolutely. He has some serious issues. He needs to get some help for that. Like, there's no way anybody can send that message and tell me that they are actually okay. You're not okay. You need help. Like, you need serious help. So, yeah. I would say first thing they need to do on the show is get him assessed because something ain't right. Mel gave me jokes when she called out the Popper. Popper didn't have no heat for Ken. Absolutely. And it's funny how she literally, like, Martel proved her right. Martel literally proved her right the whole time because he still had no energy for Ken. Instead, he was trying to like come at her. It's like, she just said this and you're proving her right. And for me, my favorite bit was when he told Maurice to shut the F up. For me, I'm just like I loved it, and I'll tell you why I loved it. If you guys remember, Mel said that the Martel meters were on the other side, right? Sitting next to Martel. You could tell they were all together, they were doing it in one accord, they were all engaging. You can tell that they had, in my opinion, allegedly, had probably had a sit down where they had really thought about what they're going to say and they teamed up against Mel and that was the plan, right? But then Maurice broke code by laughing at Melody's jokes. And I loved when Martel told him to shut up. But it made me think, Maurice, what does Martel have on you? What does Martel have on you? Because I can never, ever imagine a situation where another man, if I was a man, another man would son me the way Maurice was son by Martel. And to me, I feel like that can only happen if I know your secrets. Because why else are you going to be able to tell me to shut up and I'm there shutting up? Why? Because I laughed. That man didn't even say anything. All he did was laugh. So I'm thinking there must be more. Like, what else is going on? Because are we serious? Like, all I did was laugh. How am I in it? Which is why I feel like they had a plan beforehand. Because it doesn't make any sense. How can somebody laugh and you look over and tell them to shut up? Like it's insane to me. This is why I say, Maurice, what does Martel have on you? I really, really believe that he must have something. Because if he doesn't have anything, why didn't he like, I don't know, son Carlos, for instance, and tell Carlos to shut up because Carlos was laughing too? So it's just like, what does he have on you, Maurice? And it's given Maurice is probably the shadiest of them all with all the secrets. Because if you guys remember, when Maurice, no, when Marceau, Tisha, and Martel were going at it, right? And Martel was saying all sorts of things about Marceau and Tisha. God, all the M names. Maurice kept quiet. Maurice actually went to go and check up on Martel after Martel just spends the whole time talking smack about Tisha and Marceau. Imagine, in what world will someone dog out my family and then I will go over to them to check if they're okay? When it's not like I'm on something, I'm on cocaine. Like, what sense does that make? That is so wild to me. Since that day, I've been thinking, what does this man have on you? Maurice, if I were you, okay, I would come out and say it myself because Martel does not know how to keep secrets. Even if Martel does not openly dog you out, he will slightly, by omission, by some mistake, he will include you in it. Remember the whole side chicks unite that Arian and Martel and the alleged side chick did, and then she was talking about how she also was smashing Maurice and Marceau together, allegedly. Okay, imagine you still caught a stray. Martel was focused on Marceau, yet you caught a stray. So if I were you, Maurice, I would just go out and put my hand up and say, do you know what? I'm sorry. In the past, I've done this. Because if you let Martel tell it, it's not going to end well for you, in my opinion. Personally, that's what I think. Natasha, honestly, when I tell you that got me, I was cracking up because I couldn't believe that Martel looked over at Maurice and told him to shut up. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna speak to me like that. Not to talk of a man, right? A man with his wife next to him. And his wife had no words when he was being asked to shut up. That's how you know they're being kept in line because because he knows something that they don't want to get out, in my opinion. At least that's what it's looking. Because there's no way anybody that I know will tell me to shut the F up or shut up, and I will be there laughing and kicking like it's funny. And I'm not even a violent person. I'm a pretty much calm person, but still, I'm going to be pissed off. Like, who do you think you're talking to? Like that. So the fact that Maurice just sat there chilling and you're like, oh, she made a good joke. What are you talking about, sir? You're going to let this grown man son you? Like, wow. Is that how low you guys have fallen? And for me, it also shows that they don't have discernment, if I'm being honest, because somebody like Martel, how would you ever think that your secrets are safe with somebody like Martel? This is what baffles me. Like, has Martel ever come across as a loyal person to you guys? Let me know in the chat because it's now so funny to me because I'm just like, Martel does not come across as a loyal person. Like, what are we saying? We should be smarter than this. Natasha says Mr. Potato Head is always keeps quiet or tries and stop Popper when he starts acting like the Hulk. Exactly. Exactly. He's so quick to be like, oh, let me just Martel, no, we're brothers. We're brothers. Like, relax, we're brothers. Nah, you guys ain't brothers. You just don't want your ish to get out. That's what it's giving. It's not giving no brothers. What brothers? I've never seen brothers treat themselves the way you lot treat yourselves. So something ain't right. Brothers my ass. Gwendolyn says, if they didn't take off Martel, you know they are not going to take him off. Hold on, let me read that again. If they didn't take off Martel, you know they are not going to take him off. Gwendolyn, sorry, I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Do you mind just typing that? Do you mean like if they didn't take off take up for Martel, like, let me know. Just please help me clarify that. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. But yeah, Martel is not loyal. Absolutely not loyal at all. At all. Like, anyone who thinks Martel is loyal has another thing coming for him. So I would rather, if I were you, Maurice, get in front of it and put my hand up. Control the narrative. Even you can get yourself some, if you don't have a pop, like, get somebody, a cleanup woman, a cleanup man that can help you figure out how to clean up your image in the public eye after you do your mess. They might even tell you, they'll teach you how to publicly expose yourself in a way that is containable. If I were you, Maurice, that's what I would do. Because there is no way I'm going to be keeping my mouth shut and seeing it for Martel, of all people. There is no way I'm going to let Martel sun me. No, no way on no way, no way, no way. Also, guys, I am going to put a link in the chat soon if you guys want to come up and say your 2 cents as well. I will put a link in the chat soon. The other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is Nell. Okay. Well, actually, maybe let me talk about Kimmy first and I'll talk about Nell. So, did you guys pick up when Kimmy said that Melody was making them film for free at her backyard? Do you guys remember when she said that? Just because they were doing it just because Melody wanted to film a TV show. Now, if that's the case, first of all, are you telling me that the only reason you signed up to film for free is because Melody wanted to film? As a grown-ass person, nobody can force me to do something I don't want to do. So, yes, I may do something to please my friend if I feel like this is something that is really important to my friend and support my friend. But one thing I'm not going to do is continue to do something I don't want to do just because I'm here trying to support a friend. So, Kimmy, if it was not convenient for you, you could have left. If after the first season it got picked up, or the pilot or whatever, it got picked up, and you could have said, okay, well, I've done what you wanted to do, Mello. I supported you. This does not work for me, so I'm going to take a step back. She could have done that, but she didn't. So to an extent, she must have wanted to be on the show, in my opinion. You mean to tell me that you did not see the opportunity to be on TV as an opportunity for you to promote your life, your business, things that are important to you? Why would you make it seem like you were doing her a favor? If anything, she was doing you a favor, because now she's provided a platform for you to be able to provide whatever services you want to provide, for you to be able to do whatever it is that you guys do that we don't know. She has provided a platform for you guys. Nobody knew who you guys were until she provided this platform for you guys. So if anything, I would think you guys would be appreciative of the fact that you've done that. Instead, it's given, yes, you gave me opportunities, but how dare you not give me a nice room because I supported you? You supported her, and now she's putting money in your bag. She's putting money in that bank account. Now you're making money. So what's the point? What's the problem? What is the problem? So those are the things that personally concern me, right? When I heard her say that, I don't like when people act like they're doing you a favor when it's an opportunity that benefited you. You saw the opportunity to be on TV. Without Melody, maybe you would never have gotten that opportunity to be on television. But you got the opportunity to be on television, and you had the audacity to say, oh, well, she was making us film for free. Like, what are we doing? And this is the thing. I've always felt, I know a lot of people are just waking up to the fact that Kimmy is an op. I've always felt like Kimmy has been an op from day one. If you guys listen back to my earlier commentaries, I never really saw it for Kimmy. But people would always say, no, Kimmy is the level headed one. No, Kimmy has always been nice, nasty. That's exactly what she is, nice, nasty. It's like they know what they want to do, but they sort of find a way to like come at you and nice, nasty. They want to smile in your face, but deep down, they don't see it for you. They're not checking for you. Terrible behavior. Let me see what I've missed in the chat. Not at all candy, but he wants everyone to be loyal to him. That is the thing. Martel wants minions. Do you guys remember how he was so upset at his mom for not going up to court to say the things that he wanted her to say? Same thing same way he was acting when it was Chris and Nell. He wants people that will say what he wants them to say. That's why he and Destiny gets along so well, allegedly, in my opinion. Because I feel like Destiny says what Martel wants her to say. Although she then goes off on a tangent and Martel is too dumb, too stupid to even notice that she's gone off on one, sorry. And that is the thing. And just like, I feel like a lot of the people on this Love and Marriage Huntsville show have either arrested development, something is wrong. Something has to be off with them. Because how can you expect everybody to be loyal to be your minions, but you are not loyal to anybody? When you get upset, you throw shots, you throw jabs whenever you can. Absolutely disgusting behavior. Also, welcome everyone who's just coming in. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. We're talking about the reunion. So we've talked about Marquez. Now we're talking about the reunion. So if you missed that, you can go and start the live. Just go back and start from the beginning. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I feel like the way Martel has been, all of these people encourage him because they continue to just like, be his mouthpiece. It's the same way I feel like I've always felt like Tasha K is allegedly a mouthpiece for Martel, because it's like when Martel wants to put something out, all of a sudden Tasha K puts something along those lines out. So it's given like he tries to have a lot of people tied in his web of like lies and in his web of like who he wants to speak on his behalf. Not cool at all. Not cool at all. Hi, Alf. Hello. It's been a while. How are you? Coming in from Dallas, Texas. Hello. How are you? So good to see you. So good to see you. But yeah, Gwendolyn definitely hit the nail on the head. It's like you can't want people to be out here being yes men and rolling for you and caping for you when deep down you're not like that. Like, let's say you're about that life, then I'll be like, okay, you're about that life. That's what you guys do. All right, cool. Hi, Rose. Hello. I'm loving that profile picture. Hello. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's mad to me. The other thing that I don't know if you guys have seen is Lexi. Lexi had a YouTube video where she talks about Chris and Nell. Did you guys watch it? Let me know in the chat if you guys watched it. Because I watched it. I watched it really quickly. I think like I tend to watch things on like 2x because I'm just like, especially when I have somewhere to be, I'm just like, okay, let me watch it on 2x and see. I watched it and I kept thinking it must have been so horrible for Nell, not for Lexi, rather, for Lexi to have dealt with that with Nell as a kid. Imagine a 10-year-old, imagine an 11-year-old having to deal with you're coming over, you don't have your room, everyone else has their room. It just feels like you're being segregated from the rest of the family. There's nothing as disgusting as feeling like you are not wanted. And that must have just been very hurtful for her. Let me just see what Alpha said in the comment. Honey, I think you and a few CCs clocked Kimmy as the up. She's always been, but for the most part, folks were surprised on how she switched on Melody. Absolutely. This is the thing. I remember when I would say that, sometimes I would even get dragged in like the comment section. People would drag me out, and I'm just like, you guys do not see Kimmy, but I see her. Like Kimmy, nah. Like of all of the people on the show, Kimmy is the one person that I'm like, there is something about this woman that is not genuine. She's like one of those nice, nasty people. It's like they present as nice, but they're very, very nasty and vile people. So that has always been my perspective of her. Funny enough, Tisha is not as bad as a lot of people think Tisha is. Tisha is just, in my opinion, a jealous person. Jealous people and envious people are dangerous, absolutely. But not to the extent that Kimmy is. Not to the extent that Kimmy is. Because the problem is with Tisha, you know you guys are not friends. You know she hates you, right? But with Kimmy, Kimmy acts like, yes, yes, we're cool. But then deep down, the way she talks about you to other people, the way she looks at you, you guys remember when she got that Jeep and Melody was trying to hug her, and the way she just kind of like, it was almost like ignored Melody and I was like, wow, I would never do that to my friend. So she's always been that. Like she does things that show you that she doesn't really see it for Melody. She's just playing just to get by. She's playing so she will not be seen as an op. But she's always been that. And yeah, and I think also part of what made me clock her also was, for me, even if you're not the best of friends with somebody, if you know that her husband cheated on her, you're not going to be out here saying he's a good guy. Like, I would rather drink bleach than say that about someone that did something to somebody that I know. Like, I've blocked people for less just because you treated my friend badly or somebody that I know, or you spoke crazy about somebody I know. I just block you because I don't even want to interact with you. I don't even want you to mistakenly reach out to me. So I feel like that kind of behavior, right? Saying things like, "Oh, Martel is a good guy," or and then also when she says she's not going to call the side chick a side chick, and she was asking about how the side chick was doing. How would you be asking about how the side chick is doing? Shouldn't you be thinking about how the wife is doing? Hi, wife. You good? Hi, my friend. How are you? You know, so for me, all those things have shown it for me. Also, the one thing that also made me really clock her early on was, do you guys remember the massage scene in I think it was season 1, right? Where everyone was like, I think she invited them over, Melody invited them over, and then they were getting massages and stuff. And then whilst getting the massages now, or I think afterwards, they were talking about how Melody is bougie. And I'm thinking, this woman invited you over to her home. She gave you a free massage. Instead of being grateful, you're talking about how she's bougie and then talking about her on social media. The same social media that has provided you this platform, the same Melody that has provided you this platform. So from then on, I'm like, yeah, she ain't right. Absolutely. Ooh, Al said Lexi is entitled, in my opinion, and her mom included her a lot in the adult drama. Now, the thing, Alf, is two things can be true. So it may be that she's entitled, but I do also think to an extent there were some things that made me feel like for instance, Lexi was talking about like playing around with toys, right? So, for instance, like when she wanted to play around with her sister's toys, her Nell were asking her not to touch the toys. Those kind of things for a kid can make a kid feel out of place. Also, like when you're buying things for the rest of the kids, and then you're telling her, "Well, we pay child support." I don't think that helps in terms of like a child growing up and feeling included in the family. But it could also be that you're right, and her mom included her in a lot of adult drama. I remember, I think I covered in a previous, like I think one of the videos I did a while back, and I said something similar to you, which I think is correct in the sense that when maybe I'm mistaken, but this is from from my memory, right? I remember something about Lexi sort of insinuating a little bit about how there was an overlap in Lexi's mom's relationship with Nell or something like that. And to me, how else are you going to know it if your mom didn't say it? So that's why I had that perspective in relation to that. So I think you're right. But I do also think that there are some things that Nell did that she shouldn't have done, especially considering as a parent, like you shouldn't make your stepdaughter feel separated from the family by doing certain things for the rest of the family and not doing it for her as well. Gwendolyn said that's how you know he has something on him. Yeah, I think you're talking about Maurice. And yes, if it's about Maurice and Martel, absolutely. I definitely think that there is something. Maurice just need if I were Maurice, just come out and tell the truth. The truth really will set you free. Rose, she almost ran over Mel's feet. Yes, this is the scene with the Jeep when Maurice got her the Jeep. She literally like I was like, girl, you really do not like this woman at all. Because why? Why? Like she's just there. She was so happy for her. Like and Melody, bless her. You can tell that Melody is genuinely a pure soul. But people do so many things to her which then gets her to a point where she's hurt. Absolutely so. I would be hurt too if all of the people that I gave opportunities find the first chance they get try to tear me down. So absolutely. Natasha says, look at Popper now. For those of you who don't know who Popper is, that is Martel. He looks dragged and haggard. He's missing the money and lifestyle. The grass ain't greener on the other side. Absolutely. I bet when he was with Ariel, well, they're probably still together. Arian probably thought that he was the money maker. He was the one that was bringing in the coins. He was the one that was doing everything and doing this and doing that. When in reality, that is the farthest from the truth. So I am glad that he's finally seeing the reality of what life is without Mel. He better go and repent. If I were Martel, I will kneel down and beg. When I say beg, I will kneel down and beg Melody for forgiveness. And I'll tell you why. Because when you hurt somebody that has been pure to you and has done so much for you, there is no way that that karma is not going to come around. There is no way. You will reap what you sow. So if you want to change and have your life like start moving forward, you need to kneel down and apologize. Take responsibility for everything you've ever done to that woman and genuinely be sorry and apologize to God for treating his daughter like that. That's what I think he needs to do if he really wants to move forward and actually live a good life. Because there is no way that you can do horrible things to people and think that you will continue to get away with it. Absolutely not. I said, oh no, Tisha is really bad in my opinion because Tisha is sneaky and does backhanded slick stuff, but plays in your face. She downplays her disdain. Do you know what? You're right. And I say you're right because I'm now just thinking about Tisha. Tisha, in my opinion, was the one that told Destiny about what happened in the limousine. Now, we don't know the ins and outs of what exactly happened, but we know that there were some conversations that happened in the limo. I think Tisha was the one that exposed it because if you guys remember when Kimmy said, how do you know about it? Because you weren't in the limo. Tisha put her hands on her face, which makes me feel like she was the culprit because then she stepped in to talk about it. So, yes, you're right. You can't trust Tisha. Tisha is just as bad. They're all bad. At this point, I'm so glad. When I say I'm so glad that Mel is no longer on the show. Of course, it's bittersweet, but I'm glad she's no longer on the show because people like Tisha is out here playing in her face. I know people didn't like Dr. Shanida, but at least Dr. Shanida was honest. Dr. Shanida was calling it out and telling Tisha she's an op because she is. Rose said Melody caught on to Kimmy at the reunion. Do absolutely. I think the look on Melody's face was absolutely like, yo, I finally see you. I finally see you for who you are. Because I'm sure Melody has heard some of the content creators speak about our perspective on who Kimmy is. I'm sure she's been in the YouTube streets and heard it. And she's probably like, oh, you guys probably don't know who Kimmy is. Kimmy is sweet, blah, blah, blah. Well, now we can see that she ain't. And I'm glad, like, finally, Mel is literally speaking on it, right? I'm glad, like, at the reunion, you can see from her facial expressions, the way she was responding that she has clocked Kimmy. Clocked. Absolutely clocked Kimmy. Kimmy, there's nowhere to hide. In a way, I don't even feel sorry for Kimmy, but I hope she knows what's coming because a lot of people on the new season are going to be coming for her because a lot of people have given Kimmy grace for such a long time because for some reason a lot of people thought Kimmy was sweet, Kimmy is neutral, but she's never been neutral. So now that she's fully exposed herself, best believe people are not going to be giving her no grace moving forward. Yeah, he looks a mess. I can't believe how Martel looks. Like, let's not talk about the trousers that are always so tight. Like, why can't you get your size? For goodness sake. At the reunion, he's talking about how he can't sit. Like, you're a grown ass man. Why are you wearing trousers that you can't sit in? Like, what sort of nonsense is that? You're right and so classy. She shot her nose ass down when Mel was talking to No Neck. I'm guessing No Neck is Nell. You guys are cracking me up tonight. Well, it's tonight for me. It's like 7 p.m. for me. Um, Peace, love, and joy says, I've been in Lexi's situation, and adults need to be more mindful of what they are doing and how they're moving around children who will one day become adults. I absolutely agree with you, peace, love, and joy. I think sometimes, like, that's the thing I always say to people when they want to get in relationships with somebody who already has children. You have to be mindful to make sure that, like, if you're getting in a relationship with someone who has children, that you're ready to treat that child the way you would treat your child, especially when they're young children, right? Like, you cannot, if you do something for your biological child, you have to do it for your stepchild as well. I've always been one of those people who believe in, like, if you do this for one kid, do it for the other kid. Try and keep it as consistent as possible across the board to prevent that sort of situation. Um, and I can understand maybe from Nell's perspective when it comes to the room, she's probably thinking, you're not here a lot, so you having a room probably doesn't make practical sense. But at the same time, as a child, you're not thinking that doesn't make practical sense. You're just thinking, maybe nobody wants me here. There is something I want to say about the whole Nell situation, which I will say in a sec. But I want to read some of the comments because I'm like, there are a lot of comments. So let me make sure that I don't miss anybody's comments. But yeah, peace, love, and joy. I agree with you. Mel was good to Kimmy because during her C problem, sent food and flowers. Absolutely. Imagine sending food to somebody that does not even like you. She was probably boiling, thinking, oh, this Melu sending me flowers. Like, imagine, did Tisha ever send you flowers? Did Tisha ever send you food? I'm just curious. This woman was there for you. Yet, you let your husband question your relationship with her right in front of her after she's done all these things for you. So it's like Kimmy has shown herself to not give two F's about Mel for such a long time. But I'm glad that now everyone is seeing it because it's like everyone can finally see you for who you are. Before the time of this last reunion, I think Melody was giving Kimmy grace, but afterwards she was fully versed in who Kimmy really was. I just hate it took her so long to recognize. Absolutely. I think the thing about like sweet people, what has happened? Did you guys hear that? Like, I don't know what is with these random notifications that I keep getting that it keeps making noise. So weird. But anyway, let me go back to reading. Before the time of this reunion, I think Melody was given, yep, absolutely. She was really, I think she had a feeling, but she didn't want to completely write off Kimmy. And I think when she saw how Kimmy was moving, especially imagine you've already had a conversation with this person, you've given them the context. This is what happened. You feel like they know where you're coming from. And then they show up to the reunion with that much venom. It's like, wow, we really are not friends. We really are not friends. Um, so yeah, it's sad that it took Melody so long to realize it. But I think sometimes that's what happens when you really want the best and you always see the best in people. Um you always assume that everybody has good intentions because you have good intentions. But one thing is I really hope Melody never loses that, because despite the horrible things that people do and all of that, I always feel like when you meet your tribe of people, it would all make sense and you guys could be loving on each other and be loyal, you know. So I'm glad that she has her good people around her, and I hope she meets more amazing people that will show her that these Love and Marathon's full cast members aren't ish. Gwendolyn said all the things Martel has done and they have not fired him from the show. Then why would we think they would take Marquez off the show? Yep. I do not think they would take Marquez off the show at all. If anything, they would probably maybe approach it slightly better this time around, because they know the kind of flack that they got for not approaching the whole Martel situation properly. So I think they will actually try and do better in terms of the way that they approach it. They'll probably do some on-screen counseling of some sort and talk about the issues between Marquez and Trish. You guys are cracking me up with these nicknames. Low libido is shady AF. When she told Mel she's bougie, and then at the spa, when she was trying to embarrass Mel about the name change, Mel came back with a clap back for her. Yep, absolutely. I think the other thing about Mel is Mel doesn't really take things to heart. Mel knows that she's on a reality TV show, so she banters with them. So, for instance, when she was trying to come for the name thing, she claps back, and Mel probably thought that was it. But Kimmy was probably there, like, oh, I need to get that ass back. I need to get that ass back. She was probably out here plotting and scheming. You can't trust any of these people, man. You know, one thing I always say, nobody, if you work with anybody, they are not your friends. No, none of your co-workers are your friends. I always say this and I really mean it, and it's proven true time and time again in so many situations. I remember I was working at this place and there was this new girl. She was like talking to me and she was sharing so much with me. And I remember saying, she was like, "Oh, how am I like when it comes to work and stuff?" And I said, the thing about me with work is I don't share a lot of personal information. I don't share that much with work. I come, I do my work, and I mind my business, right? But then she was like, "Yeah, but like, how do you make friends at work?" I'm like, "I don't make friends at work. I just do my work and mind my business." But she was really like trying to make friends. And I said to her, you should be careful in a work setting, especially trying to make friends. Like, if it happens organically, good, but you don't know people. You guys are probably working in the same team. Somebody may be seeing you as a competition. You don't need to be like trying to acquire friends, for goodness sake. She didn't listen to me. Only to then end up, when she eventually had to leave the business, she messaged me and she was like, "Oh, you were right. Don't trust this person." I was like, "Of course I was right. And yes, I do not trust anyone. Anyone that I work with, I love you all, but no." I don't trust anybody, and I don't think anybody should really think that any of their coworkers are their friends. I'm sorry. We can be friends after I leave. We will be cordial during the job. After I leave, if we decide to be friends, all right, cool. But we're not friends. Sorry. I've said yes, Aranar. I totally agree with your point of view regarding Lexi and Nell. Nell's ego wouldn't allow her to confide in Lexi's mom to tell her Chris was gone because she knew what she did when they were married. Alf, this is something that I'm really glad you said it. And do you know what? Now that you said it, I want to talk about it. When I tell you that I feel like the reason we see Nell, and Nell is always so angry. And like when I watched the scene with the family, it was like, what is going on? There's so much anger. I feel like Lexi's video has given us a little bit more context because think about it. When a man leaves his family, leaves his wife to fend for the family and just goes ghost to move in with another family, that's crazy. That shakes the foundation, that shakes her stability, that shakes her confidence, her feeling like, is this really it? Guys, please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. A lot of y'all have not hit that like button. What are you guys doing? Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. It's free. So let's get back into it. So I feel like, imagine this, right? Imagine shaking the foundation of your relationship by stepping out and then moving in with a completely different person when you have your children and you have your wife. Like that will shake the core of anyone. And I don't think Nell has recovered from it. I really don't believe Nell recovered from it. I really believe that Nell is still dealing with the implications of that. The thing about it is like women need stability. Women need love. They need that stability. They need to know that you're a safe space. But if you ever leave her and move in with another family, you're not a safe place or space. You do not provide any stability. You do not. If anything, even after you come back, she doesn't know if you're going to leave again. So she's probably going to be living on the edge, wondering when is the next time you're going to get up and leave. And that can't be good. That is probably why she's so angry because she's very insecure about the relationship. Because she doesn't feel provided for, because she doesn't feel protected. Excuse me. Let's be honest. If a woman feels protected and provided for, she will rest in her femininity. Nell is not resting in no femininity. She is operating in that masculine energy, very rah rah, very angry all of the time. She doesn't give nurturing, relaxed energy. And I think part of it is because of Chris, in my opinion. I genuinely feel like Chris is a weak man. This is my personal opinion. Who let the children run circles around him. If you guys remember, when there are the scenes with the children, right, on Love and Marriage Huntsville, you notice how the children sort of relate to the mom almost like a disciplinarian, but then to Chris is the one that lets them get away with everything. And then Chris is the one that lets them, when they want to borrow money, he's like, oh, call your mom, because he knows it's the mom that would say no. Why can't you grow some balls and say no? Say no. We don't have any money to loan you. The problem with that is you tend to then develop a good relationship with the children because you're the yes man. But then looking over to Nell has to be the one to be the authoritarian in the family. She has to be the one to push back because Chris is too weak minded to push back. So it just doesn't look good for Nell because her family, her kids are probably never going to be as close to her because they're probably seeing Nell as this hard woman and had exterior and always punishing us and doesn't want to give us a loan. But then daddy is the sweet one. Daddy is the one who is like agreeable to any and everything. That is not fair on Nell at all. And this is why I agree that I personally, I know that Nell is not perfect, but I actually think Chris is what drove her, or who drove her to who she is today. Now, here's the thing. Even if someone makes you who you are today, you can get help. And I really think Nell needs to get help. She needs to get some counseling, because I feel like so much has happened to her in the relationship, in the fact that Chris never really protects her. Let's not forget, there were times where Martel was practically so close to Nell and going back and forth with Nell. Chris said nothing. Is that what a husband that provides and protects does? Of course not. That's a problem, right? She has to protect herself because her husband is not going to protect her. So why else is she not going to be angry? Of course she's going to be angry because she's not protected. She's not loved on properly. All right, let's read the comments. I see that you guys have put a lot of comments. I'm loving it. Kimmy was happy to do it because she wanted to be on TV. She's just now mad with Melody, so she's just mad. Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. Who got let me do a pad in the movie? Do you know what? Has anybody watched that movie? I didn't watch it, but I'm curious. If you guys watched that movie, let me know. Was it good? Was she good in the movie? Can she act? And for those who don't know who Libido is, she's referring to Kimmy. Kimmy got a part in a movie. So if you guys have watched the movie, let us know in the chat if it was any good. Alf says Dr. Shanida called Tisha to her face. She was an odd but felt Kimmy was sincere. I always wondered what Kimmy did or said to make her feel that way, because Kimmy has always been nice, nasty. Absolutely. Absolutely. I suspect that Kimmy was playing the game because Kimmy did not want to go at it with Shanida, because she probably thought Shanida would eat her up. So she's like, I'm not about to go back and forth with Shanida. So no, I'm going to be nice to this woman and keep the peace. I think that's what happened. Rose says Kimmy was just chilling, not doing anything. That's why Chinita didn't see her true self. Yep, you're onto something. Kimmy definitely has misplaced anger and she took it out on Melody, but I also feel like production, CK, and Maurice put her to doing it based on the first part of this past reunion. Agreed. Completely agree with you. I think in one of the episodes when I was covering, I think the reunion, I said, or even before the reunion, when the trailer came up, I said I feel like Maurice put the battery in Kimmy's back. Maurice was like, "You gotta go at her because I cannot be seen to go at a woman that way." And I think that's what it was, because Kimmy only acts like this when it comes to Maurice. Kimmy said she had not saw Tisha in a year when the episode came back on from the beginning of season 9. Exactly. I just feel like they don't really be like hanging out. They're not really buddies like that. I just think they're. Remember, was it in season 1 where Kimmy said if they were not family, they wouldn't be friends? Like, that is deep. Kimmy meant it. Low libido didn't want heat with Shanida. Period. That's probably it about how Dr. Shanida didn't clock Kimmy. Kimmy was moving in the shadows, observing and taking notes. Yep, I definitely think so too. You are right. Kimmy said that about her interaction with Tisha and said her mom had C2. Noticed Tisha had no sympathy whatsoever to the news, but Melody was very sympathetic. Absolutely. Tisha looked like she didn't even hear nothing. That's why a lot of people, there are people that question whether or not it was even true. Now, I do not believe anybody would be crazy enough to act and lie about that. So I have to believe that it's not a storyline and it was legitimately true. But if somebody actually lies about it, nah, you're crazy. Mm-mm. You have to be crazy. Doreen says because Marquez said he has nothing to lose on the text, he's dangerous to Tisha. It makes no sense. Didn't Ken say that she wants Marquez back? Marquez needs to stay away from Trisha. Hi, Doreen. So, yeah, Doreen, it's not just that. Doreen, Marquez says, well, if we are to believe that Marquez really sent those text messages, Marquez said a lot of things, not just that. If you don't worry, I'm gonna upload a video tonight where I will share the things that Marquez says. I would literally read them out. He said a lot of things, a whole lot of things. So it's not just that. Like things that he was saying all sorts of FUs and even said something about dying and oh, I probably shouldn't say that on the live. But yeah, so it wasn't just that, Doreen, but yeah, welcome to the chat. Ooh, please don't get me started. No one, not one tear came out of the tear ducts when they were talking about Kiki. Do you know what? I have to go back and watch that because I don't think I noticed that. I noticed that like everyone seemed emotional, but I didn't. I can't remember whether I saw tears, so I probably will go back and look and see if there's something that I missed on that one. Rose, thank you so much. Yes, please. If you guys have come in, be like Rose. As soon as you come into the live video, hit that like button. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. If you dislike it, hit the dislike button. It helps with the algorithm. Just hit that like button, please. Go in, sis, because that her couldn't shake a tear out for all her cousin. Wow, so she really did not cry. You guys are gonna make me go over and watch that. Let me see if I can see it quickly on my phone on OMFG. Oh my god. Imagine she did not cry. You guys. Let me see if I can find it quickly and just like watch it in the background quickly. Oh my god. It just shows her dusting or like using a tissue to like clean her eye. I couldn't see whether or not she cried. They're not really showing it in the clip. But wow, maybe I need to go back and watch that clip. Like watch that part of the reunion again because I just thought like everybody was emotional. I didn't even like double look. I've said I hit that like button when I came in as well. Thank you. Literally etiquette, please. It's like if you come into my house, please hit that like button. That is it, right? But I'm joking about the house thing. But yeah, you guys are in our space. Hit that like button. It's our community, but hit that like button. Thank you. Alf says, I'm still not understanding why Marquez didn't call the police immediately after the altercation happened. There were witnesses to the altercation and they needed to get it documented. Now, Alf, what altercation are we talking about? Did I miss something? Because maybe I missed something. Please tell me what altercation in the chat. I'm going to be in the bottom. Aha, exactly. I'm going to be in the bottom, just like, yeah, what altercation, please? Because it seems like maybe I've missed something. Because I've seen the text message, but like I've heard about the text message, but like I've not seen any altercation. So let me know. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So yeah. Okay. Let me quickly try and catch up with the chat. She knows she can't speak, so she says no, but legs, hips, and thighs was awfully quiet and had guilt written all over his face. Absolutely. I think if anything, he definitely looked like, wow, I really overdid it, and look at where she is. He really looks like that way, to be honest. They all had guilt except Melody because Melody did rise by yep. They all definitely did. This is why it's so important in life. You don't know what tomorrow is going to be. And even if you did, just treat people well. Just treat people well across the board. You never know. And it's so unfair for like it's so unfair to then have to be living with like guilt all the rest of your life, right? Because you did something you shouldn't have done or you said something you shouldn't have done. This is one of the reasons why I'm so careful about what I say. And I make sure that whatever I say, even when I'm angry, I make sure that I can live by those words. And I'm never going to regret saying those things. So people just need to do better, really. Um I love how you guys are like just talking and like atting each other in the chat. It's really fun to watch. I really love the community. Rose said they all thought Mel was coming back and to find out she's not, they're scrambling now. Absolutely. And I love how she did that. I love how she didn't tell them at the reunion. She didn't give them enough time to prep. Mid season, she's like, and I'm not coming back. Perfection. That's how you do it. Perfection. Hi, Ines. Ooh, that's a beautiful picture. I hope I said your name properly, Ines. Let me know if I didn't pronounce it properly. Teach me how to pronounce it in the chat. Doreen said, I knew Kimmy was never any good from the first season when she called Mel bougie and made Mel cry. Then Mel invited. Yes, me too. Do you know what? Sisters, absolutely agree. From day one, anybody that would you do something nice for and then they're calling you bougie, they have issues. Sorry. Rose said, I just saw those text Marquez sent. Wow, absolutely vile. Absolutely vile. It was absolutely too far. Rose is saying, have a good day, everyone. I think Rose has had to go. You too, Han. I hope you have a wonderful day. Come by anytime. But yeah. Al says, Now those text messages from Marquez with like, sir, are you okay? Why would you ever send those messages to anyone? This is the thing. This is the thing. The fact that you will send those messages, you couldn't type those messages in your phone, in the notepad, then delete it all after. Like sometimes you will be angry and pissed and something happened and you're really, really upset. Things like that happen all the time. But for you to write all those, you couldn't. That's what I mean. Someone that does not have a handle on their emotions, you couldn't write all of that, handwrite it and tear the paper, or write it on your phone and stuff. Like you could have done that, but you didn't. It's like, it's very worrisome. Because then I'm thinking, what if like the children do something that really annoys you to that? Are you going to lose your mind the way you're losing your mind in these messages? That's someone that does not have a handle on their emotions. That's a dangerous person, in my opinion. Gwendolyn said Kimmy probably got even madder with Mel when she came on stage, and Maurice said, wow, honestly, when I say, I'm like, he said, wow. Like, dude, are you okay? Your wife is sitting next to you. What do you mean, wow? Shut up. No, don't get me wrong. She was looking wow, but have some decorum. Like, why are you going to be out here shouting wow? And that's why you got clogged. Yeah, Maurice is not serious. According to Marquez, Ken and Trish invited him over to their home to film, but when he arrived, they got into an argument and Ken jumped him while the children were there, as well as production. That is horrible. I am so, so sorry that happened to him. Nobody deserves that. It's like you can't jump somebody and you, first of all, you don't keep your hands to yourself. Don't be out here touching nobody. Absolutely not. Don't be out here touching nobody. And then to try to beat their dad in front of that is just too far. That is just too far. And it's like, why did production step in? That is just too far. That is extreme. That said, still does not justify the venom that Marquez had. Does not justify the venom. Nothing can justify that vileness. And I know you're not trying to justify Alf, I'm just saying in general. Nothing can justify that disgustingness. Like, that is extreme. Like, don't get me wrong, they jumped you. That is horrible. That is a terrible thing. But that's something that you just gotta switch off your phone and be like, do you know what? Because if I write something, I'm going to regret it. I'm gonna just switch this phone off and pick this up at a later time. That's what he should have done. That's what grown ass people do. In the words of Queen Sheba, pause. Literally, all he had to do was pause. Because when you pause, go through the emotions, then respond, right? That could have saved all the stress. Now you look like an unhinged fellow. Unhinged. I believe Kimmy was hot as fresh fish crisp. Wow. She was definitely hot. She was not happy. Maurice also was not serious. Like, I'm not being funny, but your wife is right next to you. Where was the energy for your wife? Not a woman coming in and you're like, mm, mad, 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 mad. Yeah, bye Rose, bye Rose. Ines, right? Ines. I hope that's how I meant to say it. Um, Luvena, welcome. So is this text message crap equivalent drama to Mel and Martel text message? All this mess is bull crap. Absolutely, that's what it's looking like. It's almost looking like this whole text message thing is going to be a DV harassing communications storyline soon enough. Um, and let me be honest, those messages are vile. So I'm not mad at Trish. If she needs to do that, please do it. Take it to the police. Do what you got to do because that is vile, in my opinion. Also, slightly different tangent. I want to start doing a little bit more live. So let me know if you guys want to be a mod. If you want to be a mod, I can figure out how to make you guys a mod. So, because I've seen some of you guys tend to come to my spontaneous lives. So, if you guys want to be a mod, please let me know. Harriet says Maurice was sitting forward as if he was waiting for Melody to come out. Kimmy was very aware of that, and then he had the blatant disregard for his wife to say wow in earshot of everyone there. Absolutely. Like, I think even if you don't love your wife, love yourself enough to not look so thirsty. Like, this is so-called person that you have beef with. She comes in and you're saying, wow. Like, wow. Like, what is that, sir? Where was this energy for your wife? I don't even know if you remember to say, Kimmy, you look lovely. But then you see another woman and you're saying, wow. Like, I'm surprised she did not even like look at him like, what the heck? She probably realized like she's on camera, so she's not gonna do that. But yeah, you're right. It's the blatant disrespect, disregard. Doesn't make sense at all. Does not make sense at all. He definitely dragged it out. He definitely dragged it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in the chat for anyone who wants to come up. Yeah, this is like my first time putting the link in the chat for anyone that wants to come up. Oh, actually, no, this is my first time. Is it my first time? Don't hold me to it before you all start calling me a liar. I don't remember. But that's the link if you guys want to come up. Just click on the link and come up. If not, I'm going to end the live soon. Because I've said all the things I wanted to say. But yeah, like if you guys come up, we can cut it up. But yeah, if you want to come up, click on the link to come up. Also, I kind of feel like I need to figure out like I don't know, maybe find some music or something. But of course, I need to figure out about the whole copyright thing. But it'd be nice to like have like random like music in between or here and there. But maybe I'm just doing too much. But like imagine like there's a reviews and recap song, but what is the person going to say? Like, if you guys if you guys do music, maybe you guys need to tell me what what kind of songs you guys want to hear on the channel. But anyway, it's like hit me with the reviews and recaps. Like I don't know, like a reviews and recaps intro song. But yeah. Natasha said, wow. Yep, that is exactly what it was. It was that wow was dragged out. So embarrassing. So embarrassing. I'm just like, nah, like, no, you're doing too much. Absolutely doing too much. Yeah, doing too much. So, are you guys watching Ready to Love? Let me know in the chat. Are you guys watching Ready to Love? Because I've recorded a video which will go live probably tonight, or maybe, yeah, probably make sure it goes tonight or something at some point. Um, but like, are you guys watching Ready to Love? I only say that because I'm covering the new season of Ready to Love. And I just wondered if you guys are you guys getting into it? Have you guys watched it? Maybe we can talk about that. Peace, Love, and Joy says, I started watching Ready to Love. Oh, okay. Are you starting from like season one, or are you watching the current season? Let me know if you're watching the current season. Because I started doing recaps of that. I want to start doing like a lot of recaps of like shows, because like pretty much like that's how I started on this YouTube channel, like reviews and recaps. That's the whole name. So it makes sense to do more like reviews and recaps of shows as well. But I just wonder, like, is it something where you guys would prefer me to do like reviews and recaps of like Ready to Love on a live video like this, or do you guys prefer like a pre-recorded video? Peace, Love, and Joy says current season. Oh, fab. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, like I'm doing reviews and recaps of the current season as well. But yeah, Peace, Love, and Joy. Would you prefer it to be like a live video, like how we're chatting now, or would you prefer it to be like a pre recorded video for the recaps? Oh, let's see. Alf is saying, thanks a lot for a great live this afternoon for me. Oh, everyone have a great rest of the day or evening. I got to go back to work. Oh, fantastic. Thanks for hanging with us. Have an amazing day, Alf. And yeah, hope work goes well. Um, Natasha is saying, sorry, what's RTL? Oh, yeah. So it's called Ready to Love. It's like a game show where like they get all these couples together, all these people together, and it's like a dating show. So they start to talk, they try to find their matches, and every week somebody or two people are eliminated. So it's a really okay. It's a really decent-ish show, and I say decent-ish because it is entertaining. Like, of course, don't really think like these people are really out here finding love, but it is entertaining generally. So, if you're able to watch Ready to Love, it's actually a good watch. So far the new season is a bit dry, um, but it's actually not a bad show. It's actually not a bad show. So if you can watch it, I think that would be good to watch. Peace, Love, and Joy said, either I usually watch all your stuff. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But yeah, Natasha says, bye, Alf MC. Don't work too hard. Yes, please. Yes. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Alf is in tech, if I'm not mistaken. I may be completely wrong. But from what I remember, I think she's in tech. So yeah, sis, don't work too hard. I think that is it, you guys. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging with me every time I come on live spontaneously. And you guys show up in the comments. You guys make me feel so like special and make me want to actually do more lives for you guys. So I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, tap that bell button if you haven't already. Also, I have like 2 or 3 videos coming out tonight. So please watch it. And sometimes, like, you guys may not even get notifications, because I noticed some of the recent videos, you guys may not have been getting notifications for it. So please go over on the channel and just see if you've missed anything. Ah, Peace, Love, and Joy says, we love you. We love you. I love you too. I love you all so much. Thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much. Yeah, no, thank you so much. I really love that. You're watching MAFS. What is MAFS? Is that something I need to cover? Natasha, what is MAFS? Is that married? Ooh, married at first sight, I think. Is that it? If that's the case, is it good? And also, Natasha, you said you're in England. So if you're in England, where are you watching it? Like, hook your sister up. Where are you watching it? Married at First Sight. Okay, you watch it religiously. Okay, so you guys are, oh wow. Okay, you guys have just put me on because I've been thinking like I'm thinking of like other shows to start covering. Now that like Love and Married Huntsville is Love and Married Huntsville. But yeah, okay, so you watch it religiously. Okay, season. Oh, okay. I'm going to spend some time watching it over this weekend. Is it like as a new season started, is it something that I can easily catch up on, or is it something that it's going to take a while to catch up? Let me see if I can get, because I'm just like, I need, if Married at First Sight is that good, then maybe I need to start watching that. Maybe I need to start watching that and actually covering it for you guys. Um, Oh, so the season is ending. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Maybe like when the new one comes, is there like a so it comes on every season. Okay, okay. So the new season, this season is ending, but a new one is coming. Okay. How quickly does it come up? Is this something that like maybe I can pick up like in the next few months if I like stay, you know, keep my ears to the street or something? It's something that I can pick up. Let me know. Is that something I can pick up? Also, Doreen says Ken attacked Marquez second time over Trish not wanting to get a divorce, messing up the paperwork. Ken needs to sit his ass somewhere. Focus on Trish. Why are you attacking Marquez? What does that have to do with Marquez? Seriously. First time Trish let Ken pull a pow pow on Marquez visit. Oh, that is crazy. Nah, nah, nah. That is not acceptable. This is the thing. People like I feel like Ken, Trish, they're taking things too far. Marquez too with those text messages. It's just too much. They need to get off reality TV and I don't know. They need to get off it. Because what the hell is that? That is too much. And I don't understand why Ken is so involved. Why is Ken so involved? Let Trish and Marquez sort it out. This is between them. It's their marriage. It has nothing to do with him. Oh, that makes me so angry. But anyway, Australia 1 is fresh. I'm on season 12, episode 16, right here on YouTube. Okay, so maybe back in the fall. Okay, okay. I will keep an eye out for that. And episode 16, how many episodes tend to be? Is it like 18? If it's 18, then maybe there's no point. Do they do reunions as well? I'm just curious. If they do reunions, then maybe I can like watch the show privately and then cover the reunion if that's something you guys fancy. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see if they do reunion. Married at First Sight sounds entertaining, I have to say. Like they actually get married on the first time they see each other. That's yeah, that's hella insane. That must cause a lot of drama still. Oh, 30. Oh, that means I can still get into it. That means I can still get into it. Okay. Okay. Let me write that down. You guys, I'm taking notes. Let me see. Episode. So you said we're on episode 16 at the moment, so maybe I can look and see. Okay. All right, good to know. Let me see. And then they have a reunion fab. Okay, that's good. Yes, they get together at the end. Did you watch Harlem? No. Did I review Harlem? No, I've never reviewed Harlem. Emperor of Ocean Park is so good. Oh. Oh. So do you guys want me to start reviewing I'm guessing these ones are fiction and not like reality TV shows? I could do those as well. Let me know if you guys want me to be reviewing that as well cuz so far I've only sort of like reviewed reality TV shows, but like I'm happy to expand. It's reviews and recaps after all. Uh, that is very interesting. Blood and Water. Why does that sound so familiar to me? Is that a South African show? Is that a South African show? Let me know. Peace, love, and joy. If that's a South African show, then maybe I've watched it because for some reason, Blood and Water sounds so familiar. Ah, it is. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. I think maybe I would start like, you know, going around and seeing what other shows I can recap as well. But yeah, please continue to give me like suggestions, please. Um on the third dinner party at the moment. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Natasha, and thank you, Peace, Love, Joy, because I'm definitely going to check some of those shows out and see which ones we can do. So 4 seasons on Blood and Water. Okay. Because I remember I'd watched Blood and Water in the past. I can't remember, like, I don't think I've actively watched it. Do you guys watch like Love is Blind as well? Do you guys watch Love is Blind? I'm curious. I think here and there I tend to cover Love is Blind, but I'm also curious if you guys like if that is something you guys watch as well. Um, but yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. And yeah, Natasha, I better head out as well. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been such a pleasure hanging with you guys. Hit that like button as you guys go out. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next live or next video. Thank you. Bye.